YouTube, what's going on? Horse Racing Gamer here. Welcome back to Rival Star Season Mode. I think this is episode 5 on this series, and I really appreciate the love and support you guys have shown. A couple of things we'll be doing here today. Obviously, where we left off last time, all 4 of our horses finally ran for the first time in the month of January. We're now in the month of February for this particular episode. We had a 5th place finish, a 1st place finish, another 1st place finish, and a 7th. That's divided amongst the 4 horses, and I'll go into more details about those horses here in a second. So today, we're actually going to go ahead and have our foal, our colt, I believe, mature. I've been waiting for an episode to do this. He's been ready to go. And we can go ahead and skip him to a stallion stage. Yep, we're going to skip stallion. And can't wait to see how he's going to look. Looks like a stud, no pun intended. Golden Factor. Look at that, +3 on speed, sprint energy, and acceleration. So with Golden Factor now being added to the family, of course, we are going to go ahead and get his customization set in place. The wheel generator is to the left because we will have to generate races here today to decide which courses and tracks we'll be racing at for our horses. You know what, why am I here? So Golden Factor, I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do from Glue Factor and Golden Monster. He should have pretty good potential. +3 on everything, +9 total max stat bonus. So he should really be a solid horse for us, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to be able to do. And what horse is that? Oh, Great Bolero just didn't load. There is Golden Factor. Now his mom, of course, you guys know from Gallop Racer 2004. This is as close as I could get to her in this game as far as her looks and everything. So Golden Factor, I'm not sure what to do with him. You guys know my obsession with blinkers, so more than likely I'm probably going to give him something as well. That's not really gold. That's more of a yellow. I could give him this mask. His mom has the saddle pad. Well, yeah, I might as well buy it now. That's fine. I was trying to look back at the why can't I? Okay, that's what I was trying to do. Look at the saddle pad. So we have the blinker. I'm just gonna stick with that one. Golden Factor. Yellow and green would be kind of cool. It's actually a homage to my high school colors. Been out of high school for 10 years now. If you guys saw me, you would never think so. Everybody still thinks I'm like in my early 20s. I just turned 30. Guess it's a compliment, but at the same time, you know, people tend not to take you so seriously when they think you're still a child or an early adolescent, and it's like I'm literally 30. I'm 30 years old, and people think I'm like 21, 22. It's just like, aye. Anywho's, trying to decide on a saddle pad here for Glue Factor. I don't know. I could keep him with the money. I kind of wanted to do a combination color of like gold and green. I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't really like this saddle pad, to be honest, but you know what? Because we're just Kelburn, whatever it is, I'm going to try something new. So we'll go ahead and get that. Bridle, let's see. Do they have green? They do. Do they have anything that's like goldish? Golden? Probably not. We can see. Ooh. 635k, that's a lot, but I really... Wait, is this a full set? Hold on. Oh, you see, I kind of like the fact that you can still see the purple horseshoe emblem on the mask. I don't really want that covered up, though this looks pretty cool. So I'm kind of conflicted. I wish I was live streaming this. Because I really do like this mask, to be honest. Or excuse me, not this mask. This is bridle. And I just don't like that it's covering up. You know what? But screw it. We're going to do it, actually, because I think that's pretty cool. And actually, one more thing. Saddle. Yeah, Glue Factor. He better be the real deal, because we are really maxing him out here on his customization. I think he'll produce. I'm not really worried. We'll do that. We spent quite a bit. Almost $1 million. But, I mean, I think this horse is worth it. There is Golden Factor. Sorry, Golden Factor is his name. He's ready to roll. What we're going to initially do, I don't think we can do any training yet. I think we're still going to have to put him like in a grade 1 race. Oh, I wasn't telling the truth. We can train him a little bit. Oh, we can train. I forgot, because he's a horse that we were able to essentially create from breeding. We actually have the opportunity now to get him all the way up to level 20, which is fantastic. So we can already start him off with a bang. So we're obviously going to get through this, and actually while this is happening, I'll probably spin the random wheel generator and actually see what race we're going to get him in for his first time. So let me just go ahead and add him to the spreadsheet. By the way, if any of you guys want my templates as far as what I've used for this series, let me know. I'll have to figure it out, but I could create them. That way you guys can also kind of participate in this type of series for yourself. I mean, obviously you don't have to upload videos on YouTube if you're not comfortable or don't have the equipment, but if you also want to make playing Rival Stars a little bit more entertaining, with a little bit more stakes involved, just let me know. I will be more than happy to provide the templates to my spreadsheet and the random wheel generator site that I obviously use in order to come up with the kind of randomized scenarios. So, speaking of random wheel generator, actually what we're going to do, we're going to have to pick how many races, what his race limit is going to be. So that's what I'm going to open up right now, if I can get to it. I might have to stretch this out a little bit, because we haven't actually done this yet. Like I said, I totally kind of forgot that I was going to be utilizing this FOAL here today. So we'll go to race limit, open up this wheel, and then we'll see what his career is going to be. So we'll spin the wheel, and we'll continue to train him up as the wheel is spinning. It's the beauty about being able to do things like this. 12 races, so a very short career for Golden Factor. A little disappointed in that, but that's the whole point of this randomization. So if he was a horse in reality, I mean, he's a horse that probably races in all of the bigger races, you know, going into his 3-year-old season, and then obviously as a 3-year-old, and then he'll probably be retired as a 4-year-old. I think he'll be one of those horses if this was a reality. So 12 races for Golden Factor. No big deal. Obviously, I'll just make sure I put him in the best races to ensure his success long term. And we already have him trained up to level 20, which is, well, we're going to have him trained up. And then we'll put him in his first race. And actually, we can kind of get to that right now. I really need to buy more of these items. I'm kind of surprised I don't have a lot. It's kind of weird, actually. Because I was under the impression I already had some of these items. I know I sold some of them to make some money. But I didn't realize I didn't have like any of the basic ones. Or I sold so many of the basic ones I no longer have them just like freely available. So with Golden Factor, I'm kind of curious as to how much he's going to be able to earn, since we're only going to race him 12 times. I hope that he can really kind of dominate in all of his races. Obviously, we'll have to make sure we put him in the best races possible for his distance, the course setting, and all of that. But I think since he's the first horse we've taken seriously as far as breeding is concerned, and he's essentially maxed out on his stats, I should say, from breeding. So technically speaking, his potential should be great, right? He should be able to really do well and dominate. So that is ultimately what I am hoping for. And we'll see here very shortly. Just a couple more training sessions to do here for his acceleration. He'll be maxed out at 20 across the board, and we'll get him in his first race. And maybe he is actually going to be the main focus of this video, because to be honest, I totally forgot. I didn't have him at a stallion yet. He was still a foal. If he was already at a stallion, then yeah, we probably would get the other horses involved. But we may just focus on him today. Why not, right? Let's see what his potential is. Yeah, we'll probably focus on him. Alright, so he is maxed out for training. I don't think there's anything new I can get for goals. I just kind of do them as I come across them if I feel like they're worth doing. So, with all that being said, we're about to get ready to pick a race for him. So we're going to go ahead and find I think the max star levels he can do is, I can't remember if it's 4 or 6. Yeah, I had the stuff written down somewhere, but I can't quite recall. Actually, maybe I had it here. So well, he's a 10-star horse, but he's not maxed out yet. He's only at level 20. So I think I meant to add this in my spreadsheet, but I kind of forgot. So if he's level 20, that means we can get him Billincourt. So I think Billincourt is a race that we can do in the 4-star category. So Sakura Valley, can he go to Sakura? I don't think so. Yes, he can. All right. So like most of our horses, we'll have to select a race for him within the 4-star track category. That's actually what we're going to do right now. Or spin the wheel, see what the first race is going to be for Golden Factor. El Trueno. That's going to be his first test. Should be a relatively easy one for him, I hope. And with that being said, I think we're done with the random wheel generator for now. So we'll get this back to completely focusing on rival stars here, and let's go ahead and we're going to El Trueno, which is right here. I actually didn't even look at his stats yet, which is kind of crazy. It's the most important thing that I forgot to do. That happens when your mind is kind of in 50 million places. But Golden Factor, 1,000 meters, so he's a sprinter for sure. There's no other horse close to him. Every other horse at the minimum has to run at least 1,600 meters. So him with 100 is a pretty big deal. Likes the hard track surfaces. Very hard, I should say. There is a difference in this game, so I got to be mindful of that. It's a very hard track surface. He's only got 12 races on his calendar. And, yeah, we'll see what he can do. So let's go to El Trueno and get him in his first race, and hopefully the AI will not mess him up for us and get us a win. But like I said, I like the randomization. Some people may be like, oh, why don't you just play? Because it's not really challenging. This is a pretty easy game, and I don't get the same thrill out of controlling the horses in this game as I do playing something else like Gallop Racer. You know, this is, like I said, I love the aesthetics and the different things about this game, but it's a little bit more boring to play. It just kind of feels like you're on a ride, a faster ride, but it doesn't really feel like you're totally racing, you know what I mean? So I get more satisfaction out of watching the AI kind of do their thing. So that's Glue Factor. Golden Factor, heavy favorite. That's what I like to see. And I wonder if he would even be the heavy favorite if it wasn't for the breeding. You see 124, 121, 121 were the stats of that particular horse. Golden Factor, 133, 135, and 131. I mean, he's really ready to go up to the next level, but he's only level 20. He can't run in any of the races with level 21 or higher. So, nonetheless, the random generator said you're racing at El Trueno, so that's what we're doing today. We're going to go ahead and we're not even going to put him with any skills. I think that would kind of be a waste. Put P. Gomez on him. He should win. I'm going to be conservative and play a top 2 bet. Actually, you know what? I am going to place a win bet. I will really be annoyed if Gomez somehow manages to mess this up. I probably should keep track of the jockeys as well. I did say I was going to do that starting this episode. Or I was kind of just going to skip this year. Maybe do it in the next season, because that takes too much time and I'm still kind of getting used to it. So, you know what? It's fine. We'll just go ahead and place our win bet for Max. And we will watch this race with Golden Factor. Will he be able to break his maiden? 2,600 meters, a field of 12. I could have looked at the other races. I probably could have put him in something better. So I kind of goofed, but he's still the heavy favorite considering. He's still the heavy favorite considering this distance is nowhere near where he needs to be. But we'll make it work. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. The only unfortunate thing is rival stars and the loading on the PC sometimes is slow. And granted, I can improve my PC. I need a better graphics card. I will be upgrading that. I have 8 gigabytes of RAM. It's okay. I'm still aiming to get up to 16, but 8 gigs is fine for most games, even some games today. It's really the graphics card you need more than anything. But for the most part, 8 gigs at minimum gaming levels is okay, but the graphics card is what you need. I only have a 2 gigabyte graphics card, and if I were able to have a better one, I could even play Gallop Racer on live streams with the emulator. But I'll figure that out. Great. Well, solid start for Golden Factor. I love the way he looks. I'm actually kind of glad I stuck with the bridle that I picked for him, because I love the gold, the all gold blinkers, and then with the green saddle, the green kind of plaid saddle. I do like that look for him a lot. So he has shot to the front somehow. He was sitting back in 5th. Now we're leading by a couple of lengths. Field's going to try to catch up to us. I'm assuming they will be burning their sprint energy just to keep up. They have to be, right? Golden Factor's fine. He is fine, and I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with him. When I say keep up with him, I mean I don't think long-term when it gets to the final 400 meters of the race they'll be anywhere near him. They shouldn't be. I think they'll continue to kind of rally here and exchange spots, but I definitely think Golden Factor is fine. He's looking good. I just feel like he's on cruise control. Yeah, Horses behind us keep kind of switching roles and places, but I don't think they're going to be much of a threat at the ending portion of this race. I really don't. Pretty confident with the training we were able to do with Golden Factor, and his caretaker that really took care of him well, obviously, to give him the max stat potential for his stats, essentially. Having them be maxed out helps out a lot, and you gotta think when we use him for breeding, he'll also be able to carry forward those stats to a next foal, and we can continue to build better and better foals. He's kind of the starter, basically. I think he'll be the legitimate starter to building some real champions here. That's my hope, but we'll see. So, 2 horses actually keeping up with him, and again, it's probably only because he's a sprinter. Golden Factor's a sprinter. 1,000 meters is his target range, and we're racing at 2,600. If it wasn't for his stats, I think we'd be in trouble. Now, he's in second place now, and I'm pretty sure if Gomez knows what he's doing, he's going to get him rolling here pretty soon, and we should have a really strong burst here in the closing moments of this race, I hope. Kind of still annoyed we're not even ahead of this horse, but we should be fine. Get him going now, Gomez. Get him rolling. Get him rolling. This is not looking good. What is happening? This is going to be close at the wire. I don't know if we're getting there. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, the AI in this game are so ridiculous, man. They lose the easiest races. Heavy favorite. I know the distance wasn't ideal, clearly, but we were better than every other horse in the field. That result should not have happened, even with the distance. It did happen, and we get a second place here for second place for Golden Factor. Really, really, really disappointing results, and yeah. That really just should not have happened. That's kind of inexcusable. That's inexcusable for me. And I'm, of course, disappointed in the jockey. You had that race to win. Squander it away. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Well, what we're going to do here in this video, we're going to race him again. And see if we can improve. And he didn't even grow a level for that, did he? So disappointing. But yeah, that really shouldn't have happened. I was feeling confident. I was hoping he was going to pull away in the stretch. No answer, no fight. Like I said, obviously 1,000 meters is where he was supposed to be. I goofed on that, but we shouldn't have lost by that much. That's really ridiculous. It's really ridiculous in all honesty. And I don't even want to equip him with the skill for the simple fact that he only has now 11 races left on his calendar, and I feel like that would be a. I mean, we could use it, but I really want to see what his potential is without that. I'll use skills for horses that I think legitimately need them, or horses that well, yeah, I guess horses that actually need them. If I have so much confidence that a horse doesn't need a skill and it would be a waste, it doesn't really make sense to put it on a really, really good horse. I think a horse that is struggling needs it. I hope that's not going to be Golden Factor. He shouldn't be struggling. Let's go ahead and go to the random wheel generator again. Pick our next race, our next course. Hopefully it's something different. And Pearl River. All right. Golden Factor, you got to do better. You got to do better. Pearl River is next up for us. This is where the wheel landed on, and this will be the last race of this video. And I hope a much better result, because that was pretty pitiful. And we're dropping in class. We're still going to do 16 plus. We should be the favorite, but we were the favorite last time. I mean, look at these horses' stats. There's no way any of these horses should beat him. And this won't even feel like a great accomplishment because we've dropped pretty significantly, but it is what it is. What can we do? Nonetheless, we'll see if he bounces back. He should win by quite a bit. Go ahead and place the win bet on him. Try to get our money back. And we'll rock and roll. Field of 15 going 1,100 meters. He definitely should win this. 1,100 meters helps him. The surface is very hard. This is prime Golden Factor real estate, basically. We're racing at the distance that he wants. We're racing on the surface that he wants. It just sucks that it's against much weaker competition. I don't feel like we're really proving that much, but a win is going to be a win nonetheless. And next episode we'll be focusing on the other 4 horses, or at least a couple of them. I'll just kind of take it video by video to determine how many horses we race per video. Initially I was going to do each horse races once per video, but I don't think we can always do that. We'll just like I said, roll with it. We'll be flexible. What post position are we? Post position 14 actually. So decent start kind of by everybody. We'll see where he ends up. Straight to the front. No, not right to the front. I swear there's been races where some of my horses have been able to get to the front and establish a very early 3-4 length lead. It's a little concerning that I don't think Golden Factor is doing that yet. He may start to pull away here in the last 200. But it's concerning that he's not able to create that gap. Now he's creating it. And that's the gap I was expecting to see in the last race. But again, I'm sure that race probably would have panned out differently if the distance was much shorter. The 2600 probably was a lot on him, and you know that didn't work. Now that's the gap I was looking for and hoping for in the last race. It's going to be an easy win. And he's going to pull away, and he's not going to really face any resistance. This should get him up to level 21, though, which means we can finally race him in the much tougher races going forward. There's a win for Golden Factor. Golden Factor! I love the way that sounds. I totally forgot. The commentator can actually say that in-game. So that's a good win for Golden Factor. Easy win, predictable win. We get some of our money back, some items. Nothing crazy. So Golden Factor with another W. We'll take it. We will take it. So let's see. He got a second place for the first week of February is what we're going to call it. We'll have this be deemed as the second week of February now, where he actually gets his win. And actually, I realized it. Could probably just... I'm just thinking about a lot right now as far as this series and different things I'm trying to implement. I don't really want to confuse you guys, so maybe I'll keep that to myself until I figure things out. He did grow a level, so we should be able to level him up now to 21. And we can. So obviously we need to race more. And that's the thing too. These horses are going to get better as they continue to perform better in their races. So ultimately, it's not just a matter of winning money. They actually have to perform well, finish higher up, to gain more XP to level up more. So some of these horses may not even be maxed out by the time their race limit is done. That's something I'm obviously going to have to tweak as this series rolls on. I didn't really think about that, which is probably why I'm going to need to change the race limits for future horses to higher than probably 20 to 25 races, realistically. It sounds a little bit ridiculous, but I think that's what's going to need to be done. 12 races I don't think is enough to see Golden Factor's true potential, which is kind of a bummer. And I don't want to pad his stats, but what I'm thinking what we're going to do for Golden Factor as a test horse or testing horse, an example horse, in order to see what his true potential would be if he's maxed out at level 50, which again, that will take up quite a while. What I'll do after he hits his race limit, which now Golden Factor only has 10 races left, once he's done with those 10 races, or at least those 9 races, I should say, once he's done with those 9 races, I will write down all of his stats. I'll write down his lifetime winnings, and I'll put that on a separate piece of paper or a separate spreadsheet. And then I will have to just kind of put him in nonsense races that I won't record videos on, or I won't record stats on, just to get him up to his maximum level. And then once he's basically at level 50, I'll do his last race against the toughest horses in this game to really see where he matches up. So like I said, all I'm going to do is just record his stats prior to kind of buffing his his levels to get him to max 50. I will just like I said, buff his stats by putting him in races off screen, get him up to level 50, and then we'll put him in one last race and see where he finishes, and then that'll kind of be the end of his racing career. That's probably what I'll do. That's what I'll have to do now. Obviously, going forward, I'll make sure to increase the race limit to, like I said, probably 25 minimum, honestly. Just to make sure that every horse has the chance to get maxed out. As you can see, though, despite the fact that we had a disappointing second-place finish, he's raced twice. He already has $75,000 in winnings. Time to Glue, not too far with 46. Has raced twice, I think. Once or twice. It says twice here, but I think we've only recorded one video for the series. But maybe we've recorded more. I can't remember. Glue Factor, his father, 54,000 off of 2 races. So Golden Factor technically is already better than both of these off of a second place and a first place finish. Welsh Time, we've raced her 3 times. 2 second place finishes, 1 win, 139K. So she is absolutely killing it here for us. Great Monster, we haven't raced him. We did race him. He finished 5th, so very disappointing results for him. He's got to do much better. Not sure what his long-term potential is going to be. I think, if anything, he's probably a horse that needs a skill, so let's go ahead and equip it for him. Now, what is his running preference, actually? He is a front runner, so let's see if there's any skills we can equip for him, because I think he needs it. That 5th place finish was bad. Welsh Time, she did have a 7th place finish, by the way, as well, but I still think she's she's a solid horse. Now, we can't equip any of these skills, so that's kind of disappointing. It's the only thing about the desktop version. It's a little bit harder to get skills. Great Bolero, we're not racing. He's merely just a horse that would use to breed at this point. Retired stud. And Golden Monster, same thing. Not using her. You see her lifetime winnings. I had to do that to get myself up to level 20. I just had to kind of just spam her in races. Her and Great Bolero will not race. I may do one-offs, kind of just like fun, like horse coming out of retirement to race, even though that doesn't happen. But we may do one-offs like that for these horses on the channel every blue moon. But for the most part, just going to use them for breeding. Yeah. That's pretty much all I think will be beneficial for them. And as you see, if we breed Golden Monster and Great Bolero, what we get is a grade or a 7-star horse and Great Monster. So obviously you have to take that into consideration when you're breeding 2 horses at different levels, different star levels. But again, it's interesting because it gives me the opportunity, gives us the opportunity to race at different tracks, which I think is pretty fun. Against different horses and just seeing how they can kind of perform at their best. Nonetheless, that is going to do it for this episode. A little bit lengthy, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. I guess I'll be doing these every other day. Of course, Gallop Racer 2004 not going anywhere. This is just the easier thing to record. I'll be recording Gallop Racer 2004 tomorrow. You guys will see that video up within 48 hours, basically. Obviously, 7 days in a week. Videos every other day. That means 4 horse racing content videos on this channel. Half of those will be Gallop Racer 2004. The other half will be either Rival Stars or any other game that I'm playing. That works the best for me now. It allows me to stay consistent for you guys, and it also enables me to play some of the other games I enjoy. You know, there's so many. I love all the Gallop Racer games, despite the fact that 2004 annoys me with the trainer thing. It's still an extremely fun game, and I like to play that when I'm kind of sick of it or annoyed with it. I like to bounce back to 2003. And then I also like to play Gallop Racer 2001. So that's why I like mixing up the content. I'm sure some people would prefer me to just play one game, but I mean, how can you only play one Gallop Racer title? They all are realistically good titles. Even Gallop Racer 2006, that I'm not crazy about personally, is still an enjoyable game for me to watch other people that have played on YouTube. I watch their videos sometimes, you know, here and there, and they're enjoyable to watch. I just feel like the game is a little too easy with the unrealistic 200-mile-an-hour horse revolutions. That kind of takes away some of the realism from it. For me, but it's still an enjoyable game to watch, and I'm sure I'll probably play it someday when I feel like it. Point being, all the Gallop Racer titles are great, so I'll never just strictly play one game over the other. Maybe I'll have more of an interest or more of a liking to one of the titles in the Gallop Racer series, but I'll always bounce back and forth between all of them. So just in case anybody doesn't know that already, or if you're new, that's kind of how we do things here. Anyways, I appreciate you guys' love and support on the channel. Next episode, we'll be back. We'll still be in the month of February because we have to get through our other horses. Great Monster, Glue Factor, Time to Glue, and the only female in our group of boys, Welsh Time, she will be racing as well. I'm excited to see if she can bounce back. She had a disappointing 7th place finish in the last week of January, so we'll need to make sure we can try to get her back into top 3 finishes, but we'll race a couple of those. I'm not sure who. We'll just kind of go down the list and we'll see. And like I said, we'll still be in the month of February. We could go ahead and fast forward to March, actually. I think we have 2 more weeks left in February, so we'll decide which 2 horses will probably finish out the month in the next video, and then after that, we are on to March. That's kind of how the season mode rolls, and I hope that you guys have been obviously enjoying this structure of playing Rival Stars. Like I said, it just adds something a little bit different to the series, a little bit more randomization, a little bit more unpredictability that I think makes it entertaining and hopefully fun for you guys as well. Until next time, though, Horse Racing Gamer signing out. I hope you all have a great and fantastic day. See ya, and goodbye.